The work culture in America has evolved. Americans today work longer hours than ever before, with the average American full-time work week being 47 hours. It is much more difficult to disconnect from work, and the commute distances are getting longer and longer. A wave of #hustle culture is sweeping the nation, where people are boasting about long work days and disregarding those not working as hard as them. There is a perpetual cycle of making money and spending it all. Adding looming debt and an unfulfilling job, many people feel trapped. And maybe that's why you clicked on this video. You want a way out of the rat race, which leads to a life of no work-life balance, no independence, and a general dissatisfaction with your job. You want a way to escape the rat race, escape the cubicle, escape the deadline stress and long hours that come with the job, escape the 2 measly weeks you get of vacation time a year, and escape doing something you're not passionate about. Even if you love your job, can you picture yourself doing that job until you're 67 years old? Fortunately, there's a way out, and it's been spreading rapidly across the entire world. It's called FIRE. It's defined as the combustion or burning in which substances combine chemically with oxygen from the air and typically give out a bright light, heat, and smoke. Wait, wrong definition. FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. It's a movement dedicated to creating a lifestyle that allows you to save money to be financially free at an earlier age than traditional retirement age. It's a financial state where your passive income generates enough money to cover your expenses. Because you are financially independent, you don't need a job to fund your life, allowing you to escape the rat race, pursue your passions, find fulfilling work, start your own business, travel, or simply never work again. The main ideas from FIRE originate from the 1992 book, Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. By combining simple living with income from your investments, you can reach financial independence at an early age. In 2001, the Mr. Money Mustache blog became an influential voice in popularizing FIRE. He quit his lucrative software developer job at age 30 in 2005 by spending a small percentage of his income and investing the remainder. Other books, blogs, and podcasts promoted the idea of FIRE, and in 2018, the FIRE movement received significant coverage by traditional media, becoming mainstream. According to a survey conducted by the Harris Poll later that year, 11% of wealthier Americans aged 45 and older have heard of the FIRE movement by name, while another 26% are aware of the concept. Now you're in the know. But how does it actually work? I've invited my friends from Adventures and Us to break down the math and how you can make this a reality.
Hey, how's it going? This is Kevin from Adventures and Us. Usually Eliza is here, but she's studying for her master's program. So Sean has come and asked me to explain the math on the FIRE movement, and it's pretty simple. The math comes from this study called the Trinity study. So the math goes like this. If you're able to save up 25 times your annual spending and invest that into a well-placed index fund, say the VTI, VOO, VT Sachs, a phone, you can essentially live off the interest and withdraw about 4% a year and go on like that for a pretty long time, 30 years plus. Now, that sounds pretty good. Now, that means you're gonna invest everything into one of those index funds that we mentioned earlier. Now, that means you're probably gonna invest only into one fund or ETF, and you can get those results. Now, if we're looking back at the chart, what we're seeing is, let's say we decide to go withdrawing 3% out of our portfolio instead of 4%. Well, during the study, they found out that there is a 100% success rate that you would not run out of money within these time frames between 15 to 40 years. But for this example, let's stick with the 4% rule. Okay, let's say we had a $1 million idea, iced coffee avocados, and we sold it and we ended up with a $1 million portfolio invested into the VTI, let's say. The very first year we decide to pull out 4% because that's what we're gonna live off of, and our annual expenses is $40,000. So we pull out $40,000 and we end up with $960,000 left out of the portfolio. Wait a minute, if our money is decreasing, then how can we essentially live off this for the next 30, 40 years? There's just only so many people that want avocado iced coffee. salaries. Well, this is where compound and investing comes in, because the market, since you bought the VTI, you basically bought the market. And the market will compound at an annual rate usually between 7 to 9% a year on average. Some years you'll get 20%, some years you may get negative 2% returns, but overall it averages to about 8%. Okay, so then we take that number, $960,000, the amount left on the portfolio, and we multiply that out by 0.08 or 8%, because that's how much it'll appreciate by annually or on average. We end up with a number of $76,800, and we add that back into the $960,000 portfolio, and we end up with $1,036,800, a lot more than that $1 million account that we started off before taking out that 4%. And now, of course, this is very oversimplified. There would be dividends, perhaps side income that's coming in that will help contribute to the 4% rule. But this should get you started. If that's something that you want to hear a little bit more, come on over to the channel. We made a few videos, and also watch why we are on the FIRE journey. In fact, we're going to be in the middle of building a dividends portfolio. So if you're interested in how I do some analysis, come on over as well. But Sean, thanks for having me on the channel, man. Hope that answered the math behind the FIRE movement.
I set out on the FIRE path because I realized the power of financial independence. To be able to do what you want, when you want. To start a business, to work for a nonprofit doing amazing work, to spend time with your children. These are just several examples. I really want you to think about and identify why you would want to reach financial freedom. Leave a comment down below if you're on board with FIRE, why you like the concept, or why you have some hesitations about it. I'm FamiLei. I cover money and minimalism for millennials every single week, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.